Stand back and watch it go mode. Half man, half ram, call it go mode. On the prowl with my ground, call it go mode. G-O-A-T, you know we go
PW Kirk, a legend in 2 games. I went from dancing to rapping, I'm bodying both lanes. They had me down 3-1, came back like King James. I ain't chasing this fame, just stacking up all this change. Look, I wasn't tall, so I idolized the gods. Now I cross over like Iverson with these bars. I was in China like Marbury living large. And Kimber walking from the Bronx, I knew I could be a star. I made a couple raps and now they asking, can I open up? I got them fans throwing up their arms like I woke them up. See me on their TV screens, more you going up. Ain't gotta brag, you know what's up when we showing up. They told me be the best I can be. I ain't the definition of gold, it's the definition of me. 10,000 hours, time to take the game mastery. And I'm in gold mode with this Mamba mentality.
Let me see those hands now. Let me see you dance now. Let me see those hands now. Let me see you dance now.
Stand back and watch it go mode. Half man, half ram, call it go mode. On the prowl with my ground, call it go mode. G-O-A-T, you know we gon' go.
Greatest of all time, the greatest of all things. Waffle crew in the house, the greatest of all teams. Spread our talent to America like AGT. 2K23, you cannot play with me. I'm a step ahead like a stutter step that you went for. Pump fake, 4-point play like I'm Chris Paul. Vince Carter over foreign giants, hopping out the foreign like a giant. Known to be quiet, causing a riot. Burn the whole system down, form a new alliance. Open interpretation between spirit and science. Your reliance on our human genetics upsetting. You watch sports and watch the black man's
Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. How y'all doing? Welcome. We got a little something special happening tonight. We got the relaunch happening. So we got a little extra music. I'm excited about what's about to go down in state on this season. We got good mode in the building. Courtesy of our theme music is courtesy. And I thought it would be befitting for tonight's show. So good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the greatest podcast network in these YouTube streets. That's right. You heard it here. I said it and I'm not taking it back. That's right. We are on the Bravo with Sheila Network. It is Thursday night with me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, in the building. And I am glad to be here one more again. I hope you guys have had a great day. I hope you've had an amazing week. And I hope that you are ready to have some amazing conversation on tonight, because I am. So on tonight, I want to, sorry, bear with me, y'all. I know I seem a little crazed, right? I know. It's because there's a lot of things going on. There we go. All right. So tonight, I'm excited. Why? Because I heard you ask me why. So I'm going to tell you why. Tonight, I'm excited because, as we have told you, this year is going to be a very, it's going to be a year. This year, we're digging in. We're digging deep. We going in. All right, we're not just going to get to the door. We're going all the way in, and we're going deep in conversations. So, again, I just want to welcome everyone to the Bravo Sheila Network. I'm your Thursday night host, Lady Dawn B, and I am glad to be in the house with you one more time. Please, sir, please, ma'am, if you would not mind, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button if you can. Don't pay me no mind. I'm just trying to make myself make sure I'm presented back. So, as always, we ask that you would just hit that thumbs up button. It is free 99 for you, but it means everything to us. Invite a friend, tell them, come on in. We're getting ready to have amazing conversation. This year has been nothing but the best. And we are wrapping up. We're coming to the end of the month of April, but I'm excited because guess what? Tonight, I'm just going to say, tonight is the relaunch of the Men's Lounge. Yay! I'm excited. Why? Because with the model, something happens when men speak. I'm sorry, ladies. That is when life really starts to happen. And y'all forgive me. We may have a little internet issues, but we're going to press through as we always do. Why? Because that's what we do, right? Okay, so there we go. So something happens when men speak. I don't know about you, but listen, there's nothing like the sound of a man's voice. Ladies, I appreciate you and I appreciate us, but we need our men and we need their voices and they have a right to be heard. And we know in the years past, the Men's Lounge has been one of the greatest segments that we've had here on Thursday nights. So I am so glad to bring it back. We got some new faces, some new voices, and some new things that are going on. I promise you this year is going to be amazing. So before we get into the conversation, before I bring up the Men's Lounge crew, I just want to say, as always, we do appreciate everyone coming in tonight. We want to welcome you in. We're going to greet everyone, but we just want to get a few house rules in place and some disclaimers out there. Number one, we are not coming when we have these. These are conversations that we are having. We are not here to convict nor to convince, but we are here to have healthy conversation, open dialogue, so that we can learn from one another. Okay, so we have real talk with real resolutions with real people. While some of us are licensed clinicians and counselors, when we come into this space, it's not therapy, it's not a counseling session, it is conversation, and we are coming to commune, to fellowship and to talk with one another. Keep it real. Let our hair down. Say the things that we want to say, but we don't say, but we need to say, and now they're said. Because we want to be better people within ourselves, and we want to show up in our relationship spaces better than what we have been. While the Bravo with Sheila Network, it is not a Christian-based network. Okay, most of the people who do come on the platform are believers. I myself, as I always say, I'm a God's girl, so you're going to get a lot of Jesus when you get me. But we welcome everyone's thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And the only thing that we ask, our number one rule, is that everyone remain respectful. That is the number one rule. And we are very, very, very serious about that. And our moderator, the great Ine Kenya, who is usually in the house, if we find disrespect is present, unfortunately, we will have to remove you from the room and from this space, as we want to maintain the integrity of our space and we want to have healthy conversations. So with that being said, just want to ask everyone to remain respectful. You are free to comment and to share as the night goes on. We look for you to engage. Please invite a friend, bring someone in, and let's have a good talk on tonight. So let me see. Oh, yes. And also by way of announcement, we want to invite you, when you like, subscribe, and share to this channel, please understand that we have other amazing shows that go on and you don't want to miss any of them. On Monday nights is Monday Beyond the Mic with Dr. E, Dr. Elaine, and I get the privilege of being her co-host. Yay me. And we have dynamic conversation over there as well. So make sure that you're tuning in there. Also, if you are in need of spiritual guidance, encouragement, or just a word, you can go right across the street. Either way you go is perfectly fine, but go right across the street and visit the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. Right over there, you will find some amazing, I feel like I'm off kilter today. That's all right. You go across to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network, you're going to find the word over there. Pastor Sheila, who is also the queen bee of Bravo with Sheila Network, we salute her because she always yields this captain share to me every Thursday night, and I appreciate her so very much. But when you go over there, you will find the kabod, you will find meditation through prayer and word and song. You will also find on Tuesday mornings, my mom, Pastor Rosa, at 10 a.m. She comes and brings a word. And on Fridays at 11 a.m., you have this amazing trio, the Women of Grace, who is Pastor Sheila, my mom, Pastor Rosa, and my auntie gangster, Reverend Jenny. The three of them come and deliver dynamic words. So please, sir, please, ma'am, go on over, join, like, share, subscribe, and share over there. I must really be excited because I am tongue-tied. Like, subscribe, and share over there as well, so that you can get your good encouragement that you need. So on tonight, I want to see who we have in the chat so far. I see Let's see. Oh, my sis is in the building, Marilyn Jackson. Hey, sis, how are you? Thank you for always showing up and always being in the house. I so appreciate your presence and I love you so much. And we also have, I might as well just bring him on up because he is one of our men's lounge squad members. Y'all know him. You love him. His laughter speaks for itself. He is who we call, I think Dr. ND has dubbed him the Black Power Ranger, but we call him Sir Vaughn, the Invisible Man. Eric, he is no stranger. Y'all know he is a regular. He's either comment thugging in the comment section or he's up here going off on the panel. So I'm gonna bring him up to the stage. He says, "Blessings all. What's good, Vaughn? Eric, what's popping?"
I'm a thug, man. I'm thugging. I'm here to thug.
You are here to thug. Oh, goodness gracious. How are you today?
I'm doing good. About yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you. I know we're getting ready to have some good talk.
Oh, yeah. Always. Blessings to everybody in the chat.
All right, all right, all right. Let's see who else we got in the building on tonight. He is rather new, but not so new, but kind of new, but not really new. And he has been on here before. Look forward to hearing him some more. And I want you guys to get used to hearing his voice because you will hear his voice. Okay, he is none other than my big bro, Mr. Rockology, who I am proud to say is not going to be, he is the new co-host of the Men's Lounge. So come on up, big bro. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you tonight, sir? You done muted yourself, sir.
I'm doing well. How's everybody doing? How you
good.
doing, baby sis?
I'm good, big
Bon
bro.
Eric, what's up, baby? He's too busy thugging. He's thugging it. See, that's why he can't speak.
He's always thugging. Bon Eric is always thugging, okay?
Yeah, he always thugging it.
Whether it's in the comment section or whether it's on the platform, he always thugging. You know, no matter what you say, no matter what you say, Eric, Von Eric gonna give a twist to it. He's gonna go around the corner with it.
He's gonna twist it. He's gonna twist it now.
He's gonna make sure you
have big arms because he's gonna twist. He's gonna twist the arm. He's gonna be like twist. You gotta be able to come back or something. Yeah, he's gonna twist it.
He is gonna make sure that you examine every nuance of the conversation. He's gonna come up with scenarios that wasn't even thought of. Stuff that never even happened. He got it. He got it. Because we don't want nobody's perspective to be left out. But that's good. That's cool. So welcome, guys, on tonight. Thank you for joining us here on the Bravo Show Network. This segment is really about you all. And we are excited. I'm excited to be a part of, to bring back the Men's Lounge. Also want to announce that we have two other team members that one is not going to be coming through tonight because it is his anniversary and he has been on this platform before as well. And he is in the person, I call him Kingdom Builder, hashtag every day. Builder. That's right. That's what I call him, Kingdom Builder. He calls me Quiet Storm /PhD. I call him Kingdom Builder, hashtag every day. And he is in the person of Mr. Grateful. He is our brother and our friend, and he has been on here before. An amazing person to know, a great man. And he's been on here and he will be on. But tonight he is out celebrating his anniversary with his beautiful, beloved wife, Lady Grateful. So we want to salute to them. Happy anniversary, guys. We hope that you are enjoying yourselves, and we look forward to having you coming on, Mr. G. And also, part of the crew of the Men's Lounge, we decided to bring in a little bit, of the young men, the younger generation. Those who are coming up and, looking for some grooming and needing some grooming, but wanting to share what their lives are like and what is going through. Because this is where it begins with our young men. If we catch them early enough, we want to be able to help and build them into great men, right? So you'll be looking forward to seeing it. I'm a little bit proud. I'm a little bit scared too, because we'll be bringing in my son, my one and only, uh, Master Jalen Swag. He'll be coming on and popping up and talking on behalf of our young men. I'm looking forward to. And for those who don't know, my son is pretty much just like me in the male version. So God help you all. All right. Well, anyway, so our men's lounge is bound to grow, and we are looking forward. This is a space where our comment here, our hashtag, our motto for the men's lounge is something happens when men speak. So, men, we want you to open up your mouths and be able to share and talk freely and openly and respectfully. And ladies, we're going to lean in and we're going to listen. This is the time where we're going to be quiet. We're going to hold our thoughts, feelings, and opinions, write them down, but please do engage in the chat. But we want to hear from our men on tonight. So I have a question for you guys to kick off the men's lounge. I just have a couple of questions, and I also want you guys to share. Well, actually, you know what? Let me start here. How do you feel about being a part of the men's lounge? Rock was making a very good point, and we were having a very good conversation behind the scenes about how men don't really have a space to speak, to share, and to be open and honest. So I want y'all to share on that point. Like, how important is it? Why do you think that is, that men don't have that space? And before you do, I'm so sorry. I want to say good evening to those who are in the expensive seats in the silent section. Want to invite you to come on down to the comment section, say hello. Even if you can't stay, pop in, say hello. I promise you it's safe down here. We do have security, so you are safe. All right. I appreciate you tuning in, joining. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please, man. Please, sir. And we appreciate you. It's free 99 to you, but it means everything to us. So come on. I'm going to start with my co-host, with Rock. Tell us the importance of this space for men to have a place to speak and share, or is it important?
Well, it's critical. It's important and it's significant because growing up, at least in my era, speaking on this type of level was considered as weakness, was considered weak. It wasn't until much later on in life that I realized that speaking up is actually a form of strength, to be able to speak. And it's critical because it also allows women, or the woman we with, or even our daughters and women in our family, to know where we stand. And we don't always have to be in the masculinity. What I mean by masculinity, like the macho, walking around, like we running everything. We don't have to be that way. And so it's critical because
So it doesn't have to be the caveman era. Is that what you're saying?
Say it again.
So it doesn't have to be like the caveman era. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. We don't. I don't have to always walk. It's good, and I believe that this is going to help me even more, even at my age now, because it teaches that I don't have to walk around the house with a cape on all day, every day. I can take the cape off and hang up in the closet and just be regular. But it also depends on a man's surroundings in his circle too. Does he feel safe to be open? Does he have a safe place where he can be open? And the reason why I think this rehashing the men's lounge will give some of us a platform where we can come and share, right? We could come and share and learn. Because sometimes sometimes you could say one thing, but it's important what the person is hearing.
That's
right?
True.
So, so like if I express myself and somebody say, you sound like a little girl, I don't hear you sound like a little girl. I hear something else.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, and that's how, sometimes men, they get, kind of, now the cape goes back on because you've had put a title on them that they not going to accept at all. So
is that more?
This is a good platform.
So is that more of the cape? Is that more of the cape you're talking about, or is that more of the bulletproof vest? Because it seems like from what you're saying, if I'm hearing correctly, men, when you talk about that safe space, and ladies, I know that we bring this conversation up quite a bit, and safe spaces seems to be a repetitive conversation, but I believe that it will continue to come up until we get to the point where those safe spaces are now normalized. That's why it's going to continue to be a conversation. Women would only think, hey, good evening, Celeste. Thank you for coming, sis. I appreciate you joining in. Welcome into the conversation. Tonight, we are doing the relaunch of the Men's Lounge, and we have two of our team members on the platform with us tonight just to kind of go over some, we don't have a buffet of topics. We're just going to touch on some stuff tonight because we cannot wait until the Men's Lounge is full capacity and the men are going to be turning it loose. Okay. But listen, these two up here are more than enough. So, it might be a good thing. There's only two of them.
I give an example of a safe place. A safe place meaning if when I come to you as your big brother and open up, you don't see me no different when I'm done.
Right.
I'm still your big brother. I'm not like, man, I might need to get a different big brother. I mean, he ain't all man I thought. That's a safe. That's what we mean by safe place. Can we have a moment without being judged or being classified, or being told man up, or put an S on your chest and handle it? We need an opportunity where we can what's the word? Is it decompress? Well, we need to decompress too sometimes. Yeah, we need to decompress too sometimes because life is hard on us too, and on some respects it may be even harder. So but we just need a place where we can decompress, and that's why I'm always, I'm always like with the fellas in the neighborhood or the fellas at the church. They be like, good, thank you for checking on me. Yeah, because we as men need to get together and chat it up sometimes, outside these forums. Man, I just need somebody to talk to real quick. So that's where I think it'll help.
Well, let me ask you this. Even when we talk about these safe spaces, I do believe that the safe spaces have to start within amongst men with men. Because I've heard the complaint, people say, there's all of this for women, and women have this, and women have that, and women, y'all have your groups, and y'all have this. And while that's true, the thing is, women have it because we started it. We saw a need for it, and we didn't wait for anybody to give it to us. We made it happen. I find that sometimes with men, that initiative is lacking. Then when you have a woman who starts a men's group because the men won't do it, that is an issue also, because then it's like, well, you don't know anything about being a man. No, I don't, but I heard your request. I heard what you were saying. So men, I think, have to take the initiative to stand up and create the environment that you want. Create those spaces. It's not always going to be with a million people. It's not always going to be. It may start with the 2s and 3s. A lot of times you may see women's groups that are started and it seems like, on the first night they had 50 women. We may have had 50 women, but I guarantee you 30 of them were not making it a safe space. Men, when y'all come out, y'all come out to really handle the business of why you're out. So I think that it has to start with the men. That someone has to take that initiative. Vaughn, Eric, what do you say?
Well, Rock, he said it all. He pretty much said it all. What y'all discussing, pretty much. It's just comfortable for me to come up and be a thug. I'm comfortable. But what Rock said, he pretty much sold it all up. I really don't. That was wisdom. I really don't have anything to add to that. That was much of it. He said it all right there.
Well, I got one more thing to say then, since he.
Oh yeah, come on. No limits.
You are absolutely correct in what you say. We have to change our focus, though. We have to change our focus from doing it because we want the women to understand us to doing it because it's healthy for us. The focus have to change. And I think on some levels that's where it comes from. I'm not doing it for this. I'm doing it because it's healthy for me. It's for me. It's for us. It's for us to have to be somewhere where we have what they may never understand us, but at least we can come together and we can encourage one another. We can inspire one another. We can uplift one another. We can, you're doing a good job. You may not be being acknowledged, but you're doing what you need to do. So we have to come together for one another. So you are absolutely correct in what you said.
Yeah, and I think that is. Oh, hold on, before I even begin to comment, our queen is in the house.
There she go.
Hi,
There she
mommy.
go.
Welcome in. She says, "Good evening. Glad about the relaunch. I am too. We are too." She is saying hello and congratulations
Hey,
on the
mama.
the men's lounge. And Vaughn is in here already thugging, mommy. Oh. Part of the reason, that's right. I'm snitching.
Oh, she gonna tell now. That's one thing she gonna do.
Listen, Vaughn knows. Vaughn and I have history on the snitching. So that was our biggest fight last year. Was okay. We barely made it out. We barely made it out together. Had some turbulence in our relationship.
We sure did.
Right.
We still here, still holding it down. But I want to see, because it's a safe space. That's why. But I think
it's like anything else we do. It's like anything else we do. What are you doing it for? Are you doing it to be understood, or you doing it for help for yourself? Right? It's like some things we do. Like some things we do, for an example, in our personal lives, we really don't care if anybody don't understand where we're coming from. This is what I need to do for me. And we have to have that same attitude as men and prevent our own safe place for us to have somewhere to go and talk and chat and encourage one another. Because if you flip it to the other side, women don't care but they don't care nothing about us when they in these groups. So we have to just change our focus.
We
have to change our focus on what right. So we have to change our focus on why we need the safe place. The safe place is, we have to change our focus. It's about us. It's not about them. It's not about the world. It's not about the church. It's not about the family. It's not about the kids. It's about us the men.
Because you have to deal with the person first before, anything else. And I think the ownership of these things, people put a lot of, since you, brought up the church, and we're not going to stay on that subject. But again, as I mentioned before, most of us that come on and talk, we are believers. So that is our moral compass. Whatever your moral compass is, we absolutely welcome it here. And we look forward to hearing your thoughts and your feelings and your opinions. However, the church, I don't want to get in trouble. As I said.
Yeah, but watch yourself.
Elder in the church, okay? It's difficult because when it comes to these things of social issues and religion and spirituality, there are fine lines, and sometimes it's funny to me how society will blame the church for things that society has created and then expect the church to have the solution or be the solution to the issues that society has created, but yet they will not respect the God that we serve or the spirit that we yield to. I'm trying to remain as politically correct as possible. I can only speak in my language for where my spirituality stands. And truth be told, we don't always have the answers. We don't, God does. So when I say that in the vein and concerning our conversation that we have to be honest about our expectations of things. And creating those safe spaces sometimes has to be done outside of the church because everybody doesn't go to church.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, people who don't even,
Mm-hmm.
there's some people who don't believe in God, and that's fine too. But there are
Mm-hmm.
some basic humanistic morals and principles that we have, some basic essentials of life that we all go through. I don't care what you believe, I don't care who you serve, but we all, guess what? We all need water. We all need food. We all need shelter. Whatever those basic necessities are, have nothing to do with our spirituality and our religious background. It has everything to do with our humanity. And so these safe spaces
Mm-hmm.
that need to be created need to be done, I believe, in a sense, outside of the church settings so that no one feels excluded. Because there's just some basic things amongst men that just need to be amongst the men. So I don't think it's a woman's place to create or initiate that safe space for a man. Because the minute that we do, we gonna start. It's like having your man cave decorated by your wife. She gonna put pink curtains
By
up.
who?
Put by your
Oh no, we're
wife.
not doing that. No,
But I'm
no,
saying
no.
to me that's the equivalent
Not even
of
here.
it. No. I'm saying it's the equivalent of when you're
Not
asking us
here.
to create this space for you. And women, we can create safe spaces emotionally, but in the context of what we're talking as far as being in that, having that group setting, like you say that women do, like we say that women do, men need to do it because men know what men need, We can go by what we think you need, and quite often we'll go by what we want you to become. Not even what you are, just what we want you to become.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
men really do have to speak up. Men really do have to take these initiatives. Men really do have to be the voice to say this is what a man really wants. And we have the narratives confused. Women, some of us are creating the perfect man in our mind. We get the skeleton of the man sometimes, and this is no offense to anyone, but sometimes we will go for the most broken man so that we can put him back together the way that we want him to be,
Mm-hmm.
but the way that he's purposed or intended. We create our own man in our mind. And then that's not
Right.
fair to you and that doesn't give you a safe space to go, because then we're constantly I would say putting you in a place of judgment, like, well, why can't you be like this, or why can't you do this? And that's not fair to you as men. What's your take?
Oh yeah, I think what you just said was right. Men, we should create our own space, a comfortable space that we're able to let our emotions go free. I think at one time in church it was like that, but over time, so many things happen in church. With the pastors and some of the deacons and things like that, and then it made it uncomfortable for men to be comfortable in a church setting because at one time it was a safe space until a lot of the churches, not all the churches, but some of the churches went away from that foundation when it comes to God, away from that, and it made it the foundation and the church setting uncomfortable. And then other things that's happening,
Mm-hmm.
and it made men turn away because some things in the society put man in a shameful state, and they was ashamed. And then how we was raised, some men was raised that we supposed to put things and keep things within because we supposed to be the backbone, the strong point. And you're not supposed to just go and just talk about things or say what's going on. And a lot of times that emotional and all that inside of a man, they couldn't handle it. And they end up doing things that they did not want to do because all of that emotions and all what that
Mm-hmm.
burden that was on them kept them from expressing and
Mm-hmm.
doing things that they want to do as far as righteousness. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
we should now we learn from that and see that we should create a safe space since we know that create a safe space for men to talk and be comfortable. And then once that the space should broaden for women to come in because women need to know men as men need to know women. But for as far as what society is and things that men has went through, just like women formed their own society and help themselves, men need to come together to help themselves emotionally, mentally be stable within their emotions, within themselves, be comfortable within themselves, educate themselves, or educate themselves outside of themselves. Don't be ashamed to learn from other men or a younger man. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps you grow. That helps you be stable. It helps you with your foundation and keeps your foundation strong. So I think that's what we all should be able to do.
I agree. Let me greet some people in here before we dig further into this conversation. And thank you, Vaughn. I got my notes here. I'm taking notes. Ladies, I hope you're leaning in and taking notes. My sis Taryn is in the house. Welcome in, Taryn. Good to see you. Good to see you. We also have the Monday night host of Mondays Beyond the Mic, my sis. Dr. Elaine is in the building talking about, she said, we want a Build-A-Bear man. Yep, we do. That's what we do often. And it serves.
She wants to build the bad so she could, so he could go.
No, that's what
No. She making that comment behind what sis said earlier.
Right.
That comment we will based get on, yeah.
Right, we get the most broke man we
can
broke
find man and build him up. Yeah.
Him together the way we want him to. And sis, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works, like that commercial says. Land and purpose in the building. So word up. That's right. My sis Taryn says we are the help meet. That's right. That is right. And this is where we got to learn position and placement. That's a whole conversation by itself. Mighty God. Look who's in the building, the queen bee of the Bravo Sheila Network herself, my auntie Bravo, Pastor Sheila's in. She says, blessings, everyone. And of course, we have the moderator to ever do it in the history of doing it, for it ever to be done. None other than the Anae Kenya is in the building, and she is doing her job, greeting everybody in the house per usual. And
yes, Anae.
You guys are here. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Let's see. Terrence said we help get it started. Right. We do. We can help get it started, but you know what? The idea and the concept and the outline has to come from our men, because otherwise we're creating a safe space that we want them to have. But who's to say that that safe space that we're creating for them is what they need? If I need eggs and you bring me bread, guess what? I'm grateful for the eggs, but I still have a need here. You know, so we have to make sure that we are helping by following, but men have to make sure that they are creating and leading. And Vaughn, as you were talking, one of the things that came to me is that men have to make safe spaces for men. As you were talking about some of the challenges that men have been exposed to through the churches and through life, you know, however those things happen. But men have to make safe spaces for men. You have to change the narrative and normalize men being able to express their emotions, because most often it is a man who was deprived of being allowed to connect with and express his emotions will often be the same man who's telling another young man, don't cry, men don't cry, you know, and that starts the cycle, because now you're getting it from a man. You know, it's not a woman telling you don't cry initially, and it's different. Like I have a son, he'll be 23. I've never told my son not to cry. I tell him, go ahead, cry. Feel you angry, be angry. Whatever it is you're feeling, feel it. But you can't stay here long. We ain't gonna do this all day. Right. You know, you got about 5-10 minutes, and then we gotta.
It's a time limit. It's a time limit.
We gotta, because you know why? I didn't want him to get stuck in that emotion and let that emotion overtake him. I wanted him to know that feel it, let's deal with it, but then get up from here. You know, I didn't want him to suppress it and not feel his emotion and not feel like, you know, I never said you're a man, you a boy, you know, you gotta get it. And I wish he was on, you know, hopefully he'll be in from work soon so he can pop on and, you know, and tell the truth. But I've never done that. as a woman, I felt it was important that he be allowed to feel his feelings, because when he gets older, or when he got older, he being in relationship with a woman, he needed to be able to understand what emotions are and be able to express his emotions. It was help building his emotional intelligence, so he knows how to show up and not seem insensitive. Men are not as emotionally, I don't want to, well, I'm going to say this and say it lightly. Men are not as emotionally driven as women are, in the sense that we will go off of our emotions in a heartbeat. Men will, y'all kind of take a minute, you process it differently. Dr. Elia said, watch it, Mom. Terrence says, right. I didn't want him not to be able to identify his emotion. I didn't want him the first time he felt love, the emotion of love, to be when he's in a relationship with a grown woman and not know how to show up for her, not know how to receive that, and not know how to give it back. You know what I'm saying? So I always make sure, but I'll tell, but you can't stay here. We can't cry for 6 hours. Not straight. Now, if you later feel some kind of way, if you need to come back to that feeling later on, that's fine. Right. But we gotta start.
Or if it's raining outside, as the songs go outside in the rain, because you could cry all day out there.
or go in the shower or something
That's my favorite song. That's my favorite song.
Yeah, that's one of my
favorites.
No, seriously, that's my favorite song.
Oh yeah,
seriously, that's my favorite song. I wish it would rain.
But I think that
because in today's society, no matter what's going on, in my opinion, I don't believe it's going to ever be accepted for men to be able to fully express themselves without people seeing them differently. That's just my opinion, because it's just been going on for too long. And now everybody know I'm expressive. I'm gonna say what I have to say. I mean, I don't say crazy stuff though, and I don't say, I'm not immature or silly what I'm saying.
No.
I express myself, but I express myself from a mature perspective. I don't get indignant and all of that. But we have to do this, because some issues that do exist, we created them. So if we created them, then it's only us that can correct them or fix them, right? So if we created situations as men, the women can't fix it. They probably don't even know where to start, because they're not the creator of it. See, there's some issues in life that we created, and we have to, and that's why it's good that we get together and talk and have this platform, because we have to be able to fix it and move on, and we have to be able to encourage one another, right? And then, because one of the hardest things to me that I feel I witness in my life is very seldom anybody checks and see how a strong person is doing. Even as a kid, my brothers and sisters and cousins and them always say, "Oh, Rock, he'll be all right. He good. He all right." And there's a lot of times I wasn't all right, but then I had to, because everybody leaned on me so much, I had to grow into this mountain of a person to, I gotta be there for everybody, right? One of the things that got me with me and baby sis is, baby sis, she gonna text or call. I'm just calling to check on you. What's up? What's going on with you today? You'd be surprised how far that goes. That'll put us I'll be smiling for 2 hours after the phone call. Like, yeah, baby sis love her big brother, because it means a lot when someone just calls and just check. I want no conversation. I'm not calling you telling you what I'm going through with your nephew. I'm not calling and telling you what mama said. I'm just calling to say, how are you doing today? Let's talk about you. right? And that goes a long way. But we as men got to learn how to do that with one another. You know, going to tell, hey, Von Eric, how you doing today, man? What's up? You all right today? You know, we have to form that on you know, with one another as men. We're looking for society to do it. We're looking for the women to do it. We're looking for the church. But we gotta do it. Like Sis said earlier, you know, the women started it. We gotta start something. We gotta start a thing going, a circle going, to where we check in. Me and Mr. Grateful do it. He hit me up every night. Hey big bro, what's up? And every now and then I hit him up. Hey little bro, how you doing? How this week going? So it's something that we got to start doing ourselves.
I love it. I love it. Terrence says, I'm too old for projects now. Listen, y'all need to understand this, and let me, let me sidebar for a second, because we kind of led into this on Monday night last week. No, this week. I don't know what week we in. This week on Monday night. I want to kind of to be understood that most women, I'm going to say most, I don't have no statistics, but I'm going to say most. I'm just going to say it. All right. I'm going to speak up for us and just let it be what it is. We tired. We don't want your positions. Men, please here. I need to get all the way in the camera. I don't know. But we don't. I don't care how independent we are. I don't care how much we lead in every other space. I don't care. At this particular point in life, I'd often say, as Dr. Elaine Hissey said, at this big old age, baby, please understand. Like Sis said, I'm too old for projects now, and I'm tired. I never wanted to lead in the way that I've had to lead. When Big Bro, you were talking about how no one checks on the strong person. Most people who are strong did not start out that way. Most people that are strong ended up being strong because they had no choice. Because it's either you push through what you got to do or you don't survive. And not surviving is not an option. Dr. E says, say it. That's right. We did not want to. We did not ask to. We never signed up for this. Even with the soft life or soft girl era. And we're going to share a clip one of these days that I shared with the group. With the soft girl era that women want to be in, when I want to get in my soft girl space, listen, I don't want to make any more decisions. It doesn't take away from me as a leader, but I know how to, in this degree, I would say code switch and stop being the leader and digress to the second place. It's like we eating whatever you decide. We go on vacation wherever you choose. It's not that my opinion doesn't matter, but you would hope that in relationship, we are at a place where we know each other well enough. We've had enough conversation and communication that when you make this decision, you're doing it with everyone in mind and not as a dictator. Terrence says men need their space for sure. You do. You need that space absent of women so that you can be men. One of the things I used to do when I was dating, and tell me if y'all ever did this or you've experienced it. My ex-husband, hold up, Landon Price says checking in is a must. It is a must. Sometimes, and ladies, we have to, sidebar note, ladies, we have to not spill so much at one time when I'm in, but sometimes, just check on them, just see how you're doing. Hey, you know what? I'm not asking you as your wife, as your girlfriend, as your boo, as your extra, as whatever. We putting all of that aside. Friend to friend. How are you today? This is a mental health check. We're going to do a wellness check. How are you feeling? I don't want anything from you. I just want to know how you're feeling. Let's talk, communicate, and open up that space. But one thing I would do is I would tell my husband, you go, when I was married, go out with your boys. We would go out all the time. Go out with your boys. Have a good time. Don't worry about it. Check. Just let me know that you're safe. That's all. See you when you get back. You ain't got to call. You ain't got to, if nothing's wrong. because you need to have that time away from being everything to everybody and just be you in that space with other men. You know, you need that downtime to just talk man talk, just to not have to curb your words, just to, you know, not have to be so delicate or with, you know, like bite your tongues, you know. How important is that, or is that even of a major importance in relationship, that you be able to have that time away from your family just for you to be, for Rock to be Rock, for Vaughn to be Vaughn, for Landon to be Landon, without being husband, father, uncle, you know, problem solver.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very, it's very. Oh, go ahead.
I feel the same of what you're saying. I also feel as though men, like you said, we need to take lead on this. But it's good as men and as kings to also look at and understand and take pointers from what women say or what women suggest. And not look at it as they telling us what to do, but suggesting certain things. And I think that should go with men too, because we both live in this world together. Even though a lot of ways we are different, there are many ways that we are the same. I seen some time ago in Texas, they was called for 60 fathers because these kids, some kids didn't have a father. And when they went out and to try to get people to come, the fathers to come in, it was crazy because 600 men came. So right there shows a foundation where men is. It may not be everywhere, but that right there shows a strong foundation, and that shows kings, not only men, they are kings. And I think when we do get together, we need to help one another and not let certain things within the political atmosphere or society divide us, which has been done for many centuries and many years. You know, you got certain things that divide us as men. It could go theology, education, it could go society as far as class and things like that. But when men come together, like women, but when men come together and able to talk to one another and teach one another and learn from one another. You know, some men, they think that they should be the only ones to teach. I think we should understand that we must be students also and not be ashamed to learn from another man or to suggest things that women may, you know, because women is in need just like men are in need. And I think we should not be ashamed if a woman says something, no problem, I understand. I got you. You're right. You know. And then we could talk with one another amongst men to elevate what she said or what they have said. Because a lot of things in this world is all about dividing and conquer. But when you come together as one, being men and women, or come together as one, it shows that you will grow in society that will never take you down or take you out.
Well, Rock, what was you gonna say?
What was the question again?
You done tapped out. Your mind was someplace else. We're talking about.
No, I didn't tap out. I just forgot the question.
We were talking about, well, basically, men taking your space in your place. Let me.
I got it now. Yes, it's
Right. Is it?
critical. In the beginning, when I first got married, I used to say I married. One of the reasons why I married you is to spend and share my life with you. And this is real. I'm being real. And if we have to do things apart, then why did we get married? Today, it's the total opposite. Because I've learned that, first of all, separation is a good thing, not only for the individuals, but sometimes it's also good when you come back together. Right? Because when I come, like I come in my office a lot. So I come in my office a lot. A lot of times the door is open. Sometimes the door is shut. Because I want to come in here and I just want to, some peace, some thinking, some meditating, to take advantage of the quiet time. Because when it's quiet, I can hear more, I can see more, I can understand more, I can discern more when it's quiet than when it's noisy, which is good for me because I come from a big family and I have a big family. I'm number 2 of 8. So I really didn't even get a chance to actually not be strong because, you know, it was my older brother, me, then you got the girls in the middle, and you got 2 boys at the end. So I had no choice but to, and we almost stair steps, right? Then I turned around and had 5 daughters. Then 12 grandchildren, 8 of them were granddaughters. So I came from a big family, then I had a big family. So I didn't really understand the quiet time as I did like the last 5 years. So having your space is critical because it gives you that downtime and that relaxation. And sometimes I can come in here and just take a nap. I can get on my little couch right there and just take a nap, a quiet nap. You know, you don't have to worry about nobody knocking on the door. I put my phone on silent or whatever. And you know, not long. I can't do it long. Trust me, I can't do it long. It won't be long. But I thank God for the short period of time that I do get. You know, and so we have to take advantage of the space that we have, and we have to promote it. We have to promote it. You know, I do the same thing. Go on. Yeah. You want to go with? No. You go ahead. You go ahead. You go knock. You know, do what you got. You good? Yeah. No, don't spend here. Take this. Don't spend your money here. Take this. You just go ahead on, because what it does is not only do she get that space to herself, it gives her even more peace. Oh, I ain't got to spend my money. I can spend this money. Plus, then it gives me an opportunity to have some quiet time myself. Or vice versa when I'm stepping out. So then when we come back, it's like, yeah, you want to go out to dinner? Yeah, we can do dinner. You know, it's like almost like a rejuvenation type thing. So we definitely got to take advantage of the space that it's allotted, because it's just for the peace of mind.
Yeah, and I think men, you know, that's one of the things, and it gets to the mental health of men. And these things may not be. No, we have to learn how to change the narrative. You know, and we know that, as you said before, society has deemed so many things and has set things up in so many different ways. So yes, it is a challenge, but guess what? We became conditioned to these things over time. So now we have to unlearn them, which is going to take time, but it has to start somewhere. And having private space, your one-on-one time, your time with your boys, like, you know, they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. You know, I know you're going out. I know you're going to come back. You know, you're not leaving forever, but it is important for you as men to have that space with one another, because just like with women, we speak a whole nother language when we are with each other. Women together, you know, we having a whole conversation. Some of us are talking without words. You know, sometimes we, you know what I'm saying? We got a whole thing going on. But it's the camaraderie that happens amongst us. There's certain things that we can say that we don't even have to finish our sentence, and the women that we're with totally understand. We can relate. That if we said it to a man, he would not get the depths of it because you're not a man. Same thing with the men. You know, that man, that one-on-one brother time has to be normalized. It has to be something that becomes the norm, so that you can have some support, the support you need. Sometimes men are looking for support from their women that we don't have because we don't know how to give it to you. And I hate to say it, but we really cannot be everything to each other. That's why we are in community, not in isolation. There are some things, and this was very humbling, I had to learn when I was married. There's some things, as much as we love each other, I cannot be to you. I can't be your brother. I wasn't meant to be your brother. You know, like, I don't know what that's, you know, how many times I gave you some dap, you know, like high five. And right. We could bump it flat. You know, it ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Men need to be around men.
That's true.
So that you can talk these things out in healthy ways, and find healthy solutions. And once that starts to happen, then it will gravitate. You set a standard that other men can come into, and then they will have to learn how to unlearn those other things and learn this new thing of actually having brotherhood, which is really important. Go ahead.
I think also, like you said, when it comes to having space, what are you doing when you're going out in your own space? What are you doing? Are you educating yourself, or are you edifying yourself, or what are you doing? Are you out cheating? Are you doing things that will help you and your wife grow together as one? It's very important when you do go on your own. What are you doing at that time? Are you reflecting on things in a relationship? Are you reflecting on yourself? Are you educating and understanding who you are and what you've been through? Are you at a point, are you ready to overcome the trials and tribulations that is on your shoulders, that is heavy, that's causing you to do harm, not only to yourself, but to your partner or to your homeboy or to your family? So you have to, when you do go in that space, what are you doing? Are you uplifting yourself? Are you making it count when you're in that space? Because if you don't make it count, you're going to come back into a space that when you left, it's the same, and you ain't growing. Matter of fact, you can go lower than what you are. So you want to make sure it's important when you do have that space. What are you doing with it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. And I think that then lends to the point of the creating of that environment for men, creating an environment that would be conducive to positivity, not a space where, because, if you cheating, if you cheating, not, sometimes you're going to go out with the friends that condone that type of behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You don't want the accountability. You don't want to have to, and this is men and women. This is human nature, because then when you get around the other people who are happily married, you either thinking, well, if I'm doing it, because, we think our character is better than the next person's, and we all fall short. But, we have to create environments that are healthy and positive for us to grow in those positive ways. You have to create an environment for men to be able to come and say, like, hey, bro, listen, for real, I love my wife, but, like, I'm about to step out, I'm about to cross the line. I'm about to be there, and if I'm being transparent, I've been in that situation, and I had my girls to be like, don't do it. And I'm like, you got one more again. I'm telling you, then I'm about to put on my indoor shoes and go outside, because
Oh, I thought you was going to say you was going to chin check them.
Hey, please don't encourage her. Don't encourage her. She'll do that too. Trust me, she'll do that too.
That was Monday. I'm reformed. I'm still reformed.
Oh, okay. You before. Okay, I got you. Okay.
I was just expressing on Monday, like, bro, like,
she's Lady Dawn now. That was Dawn. She's Lady Dawn now.
Okay, I got you.
Right, there we go. Okay.
That lady is there for a reason. It reminds me. God told me, he said, don't put a title on your name. Your title's gonna change many times over. It's a true story. While we sidebars. But the reason why I don't call myself like Elder Dawn often and whatever other titles I may carry is because, number one, Lady Dawn B is the name that I write under. And number two, well, really number one, is because God said to me, your title is going to change many times over, as you grow and you evolve and you move up in light and you elevate. So, but the one thing that will never change, that you will always be, is a lady, because that's what I made you to be. And he said, so that's the name. So that's why I laid it. So yes, it is absolutely in line with what y'all say. It is absolutely the reason why.
I said that. That's Von Eric.
So when I want a chin check, I'll be like, oh, ladies. Ladies don't do that. I gotta put my hands in my pockets. Don't let Denise pop out, because Dawn is one thing, Denise is another. Dawn Denise is a beast of a whole nother kind. But we ain't gonna talk about that. This is my therapy.
The name should be Lady Chin Checker Dawn B.
That's right.
I'm reformed. Don't get it twisted. It can happen.
I got you.
We're not going there. We're not going. I prefer to be a lady. I'm going.
Okay. I got you.
Woo!
These
All
are
right.
ladies.
Well, if you relapse, let me know so I can change the name.
There will be no relapsing.
I am reformed. There will be none. See, Big Brother has spoken. There will be none. I must remain a lady at all times. Okay. And so, don't be mad at me, y'all. It's just who I am. I'm working. I don't want to lose my footing in my ground. So
I got you.
I got you. But but we have to be. I'm grateful for my sisters that kept me from making the conscious mistake, I'm gonna call it, of going outside of my commitments. Going outside of my marriage. And that's one thing about having a safe space. If you have friends that cannot correct you, then they're not really your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And men, let me ask y'all this. Is it hard for you to take correction or advice from another man? Because I know some men have a sense of pride where it becomes, I don't need you telling me what to do in my house and all of it. Like, is it difficult for you to receive guidance, instruction, and correction from another man versus a woman? Go ahead, Rob.
I think on any platform or any man or woman, I think who you receive from depends on how much you respect and honor them. I think when you honor someone, you tend to hear them more than you would hear anybody else. Now, what I've trained myself to do is, if it's for me, take it, regardless of where it's coming from. If a dog barks and the Holy Spirit give me utterance of what that dog is saying, I'm gonna take it, right? Because to me, that's a level of maturity. I can't no longer keep saying, you know what, they don't mean nothing to me, man, whatever. You know what? I can't keep doing that because it's not working. Right. And then I also learned that the Lord would come through people that you least expect to give you advice or to offer help. And when you refuse it, you've had your opportunity. So I've lost in those areas a lot too in life. So you just have to get to the point where if it's for you, take it. If somebody says something and you can use it, put it up on the shelf. Like my father told me when I was about 15. He said, your problem is people come to you and say stuff, and it may not have nothing to do with you now, and you throw it away. And then when it comes up, you have nothing to pull from because you don't threw all the advice and everything people gave away. Put that stuff stack it up on the shelf. When you put it up on the shelf and it comes, it's like, oh, there it is. Pull that out, and now you equipped. So that's what I would say from my own personal experience.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's good. Hold on, Vaughn.
Yeah, thank you, Mama. Thank you.
Let me read this comment real quick. I'm sorry because I want nobody to get upset. So just let me throw this in here, and then Vaughn, you got.
You see what she said.
I just asked Vaughn if he could pause so I could read this. See what I'm saying? See, y'all still defensive. Y'all still in for this defensive space. I was on your side.
Mama Rosa said, "I love that answer, Rock."
Mama says, "I love that answer, Rock." See, he gets so. Something happens when men speak. I don't know what's happening right now, but Mama says relaunch. He gets very excited when Mom speaks and says stuff. So, but I didn't want to get blamed for overlooking her comment and not shouting it out in a timely manner. So, go ahead, Vaughn. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think what Rock said is very on point. And I'm that same way. If it doesn't matter, I take information and like he said, I put it up because all information is power, but I place it where it needs to be. You know, like he said, he placed it on the shelf. I place it in different departments because even though that what a person said or a man may not be for me right now, it could be for me later on, or I
Right.
can use
Right.
it to help another brother, a younger brother
Right.
or same age or whatever. I can use that information to help my other brothers and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So, yeah, what he said is on point. Take the information, but I know some people, it depends on their life and where they are. They won't receive it because where they are, and they feel as though if they receive it, it's going to take them off the path that they on. So I understand that. That's how certain men are and women, but certain men are. But for me, as Rock said, as what God gave me the gift is to receive it and just departmentize it and put it where it needs to be and save it until it is needed for me to use it later on in life.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something the Lord showed me some years ago. We were going through something, and I was sitting there, I'm like, I'm not trying to do this and other. And it's so weird. The Lord took me to the scripture with Abraham and Sarah. Where you remember that scripture where God said, listen to your wife?
Mm-hmm.
There's sometimes, I'm telling you, my personal opinion, I believe it takes a good woman to develop a good man. That's just me. Because it's like you become one. Okay, I have the logic, and I know she get tired of logic, like I get tired of the emotionalism. But when we work together and we come together as one, when I tell you the vision, the discernment, and the understanding be clicking, and then when she come, I was thinking about that. And then before I could get something else, I was thinking, and I'm telling you, God knows what He's doing. The way He created us is we got to stop jacking it up.
I think also to that is that's why I was saying earlier, even though men is the leaders, they can guide themselves, but it's good. It shouldn't be a shame. It's good to listen to the pointers or suggestions of a woman, like you just said, with Abraham and Sarah. Abraham was a good man, and by him being a good man, he wasn't ashamed to listen to what Sarah said. It didn't diminish him in any type of way. And I think us men, we need to take that also into account when we come together as one. And I think the Phyllis Dole the same as for women. We should not be ashamed to listen and suggest what a woman says. Because let's be clear, the same spirit that is in me is the same spirit that's in her. Same Lord, same
Right,
God.
right.
So
But you have to understand this too. You have to understand this. This is just my spiritual imagination.
well, the imagination
Wait a minute, hold on.
Mhm,
If God had to tell him to listen to her, this is just my spiritual imagination.
mhm.
He may not have been listening to her if he had to tell him to listen to her. That's all. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, it could be, or it could be that, or it could be he was just contemplating within himself. So,
Same thing, Marty.
well, no, because some people just don't listen. They don't even bother to contemplate. They just go straight forward. So it could be the point that he was contemplating on which way to go, and God put the stamp on it. No, you don't even come. Just go this way. But it could go the way that you're saying, because we're not in Abraham's mind in what was going on. We just see the outcome. But the
Right.
point I was just trying to make is it's good to listen. It's good to listen when it's needed, and especially if the information that comes from her helps you. It can help you to do something that you don't want to do, or help you do something that you do want to do that'll bring enlightenment to yourselves, to uplift you. And I think us men should not be ashamed of that. We should take that into account when we come together and discuss these topics and discuss these manners within ourselves. It's not
Yeah.
that a woman's telling us what to do or controlling us. It's what she is saying that what we may need, and vice versa.
Ladies,
A
I hope.
wise man once told me when I was about 14, a wise man once told me it costs you nothing to listen, but it can cost you everything not to listen. A wise man told me that was 14. It costs you nothing to listen. It don't cost you nothing just to listen, but it can cost you everything not to listen. That's what my father told me when I wasn't even a teenager good yet. Yeah, that's what he told me.
That's true. That's good wisdom for all of us. And ladies, I hope that you're leaning in and you're listening to this conversation that our men are having. No, we don't. There's no one speaking for every man in the world, but we are having open conversation, and you're hearing real talk, real thoughts from real men, our everyday men. You know, who are the ones that we deal with, the ones that are in our lives, and not. I'm not saying y'all are basic, but I'm saying when I say everyday men, I mean real men who are showing up in real life and real spaces. You know, not your dream man that you made up, you know, at the Build-A-Bear, like we were talking about earlier, Dr. Elaine. You know, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the real ones that you're going to meet in life. That
Dr.
real one.
Elaine, they ain't gonna let that go, Dr. Elaine.
Well, she was saying off of what I said. So it's not her fault. That's me. That's right. But that's what we try to do. We try to find the most broken one to make him into what we want. You know, mommy says the fear of failure
That's right,
is
Mama.
the beginning of wisdom for all people. So listen to the wisdom. Ignore
the gender.
That's right.
Everybody give Mama a clapping ovation. That's right, Mama.
Right, Dr. E.
Tapping that chin.
Reform. Gotta wait till Monday night to get back to the chin tapping. We gonna make it. We gonna make it through one show on Monday night.
Oh my goodness!
And now with technology, have to really hold one another down. It's just different. Yeah, that is true.
Different.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, something that you both was saying, and I want to direct this to the ladies, is that when you have that space, since you know, Big Brother brought up the reference in the Bible, where it may be he's instructed or open to have that moment where it's listen to your wife. Do not misuse or take advantage of that space to impart and to direct and to give instruction. Make sure that we do it respectfully. Make sure that we do it with integrity. Make sure that we do it gently, and make sure that we do it with, you know, with everyone's well-being in mind. Because sometimes we can misuse those moments and those openings and use them to be selfish and do, you know what I'm saying? We'll become manipulative. I'm just speaking the truth, and can twist our advantage where it's self-serving and not family oriented, or not, you know, about the collective. So women, we have to be very careful, because when we misuse those spaces, when a man opens up and he's allowing that vulnerability and he is giving us that space, and, you know, to listen and follow and do, when he's trusting us, if you misuse that, it will never happen again. And if it happens again, it will not happen wholeheartedly. It will happen out of it being a task, not out of it being the partnership and connection. Because you know how we can do some things, and we're doing it because, you know, like when we were kids, we did the dishes and we did our chores because that's what we were told to do. You know, we wasn't doing it joyfully and in partnership. We was doing it with, I know my father used to tell us all the time, put your feelings in your pockets and get done. Well, do what I said. I don't care how you feel, you know. And so sometimes in life we're walking like that. But when our men are in that space of opening up and allowing us to interject, just use that space wisely. You know, don't use it to be selfish, but use it wisely and partner, because we don't want to break our men anymore. They already go into a very distrusting world. They don't want to have to feel betrayal happens on the inside, and they don't want to have to feel betrayed in their inner circles. So I just wanted to add that. Go ahead, big bro.
And something else. Let's not, I'm not saying don't embrace understanding, but let's not put everything on whether you understand it or not. And I'm gonna give you an example. When we left the DMV area, we moved to Georgia, and we was in a situation. And to this day, I still don't see or believe. I still don't see what my wife saw. We had to get out of that. She said, "If we don't get out of this situation, you're gonna break this man's face." I'm like, where did you get that from? I'm not even on that level no more. I'm not living that type of life no more. I'm not doing this no more. And she sat there and she said, "Rock, it's time to go." I'm like, "All right, give me a couple of days to think about this." And just give me a couple of days. And she was like, "Rock, all right, man, just let me go to storage and get this. We'll roll out here." To this day, I still don't see it. But since the move, everything's been on the up and up. And I'm saying this to say this: everything can't be on what we understand or what we see, because you're not going to understand everything and you're not going to see everything. It's a trust thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's about trust. Do I trust what she's saying? And I'm gonna say this for the fellas that have a problem with trust. If she trusts you, come on now. Even in our stupidity, even in our machoism, even in our egos, a lot of times they're like, "All right, if this is what you want to do, we're gonna do this, whatever." There's no reason why you can't trust her, especially when they very little time speak up. Because when she speaks, I'm like, "Oh, well, this. All right, y'all pack y'all bags. We out of here." I don't see it. I don't understand it. But hey, because God can show her something that I'm not seeing. Isn't that her job? If she's my help, if I'm leading, I don't know what's going on back here. Because I'm leading. I'm moving forward. So she may see something over the horizon. "Hey, Rock, we gotta go right. Go right. We gotta go to the right." Because she sees something over the horizon because I'm leading, I'm going forward. So we have to play our role, but then we have to also allow them to play their role. Because I'm quite sure she don't understand everything I say. Matter of fact, I know she don't understand everything I say. I know that for a fact.
I don't understand.
So we just have to. It can't be about understanding. Sometimes understanding comes later, and sometimes understanding never comes. Even when you take it to the word, God, sometimes He give understanding. Some understanding ain't gonna never come because it's about trust. Do you trust me? Do you trust me like I trust you?
Yeah, because I'm still trying to understand Von Erich, but sometimes I just got. Trust what he said. Just what you got it, sir. All right.
Yeah, I think yeah, what Rock is saying is absolutely right. It's just sometimes it's not just about understanding. Sometimes you have to reach in your gift on trust, and that gift of trust that you have that the Lord gives you, trusting what He is doing within your wife, and He may give her the understanding more so what He have given to you. And with that, and when you come together as one, you will allow yourself and don't be ashamed of submitting unto her understanding what she is getting to move forward in parts of your life. Because I'm sure Abraham, that knowledge that you use with Abraham, he probably didn't understand when wait a minute, hold up, that's my son. You want to tell my son to go away from me in the same household? So he was probably he was probably into that same mentality too. That's
When I saw his laughing, I said, "Oh, it's something that let me go look at these comments."
Are you helping me climb through the window?
Yo!
Oh man.
So I'm going to help them climb through the window to get me. I got you. I got you. You right.
Wow, that's funny.
Is it understanding or is that trust? Which one is it?
Man, that's true. that will be. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to
man.
write both of them out. I don't know.
Or is that jail time? Is that jail time?
Yeah, that could be jail time right there.
He helping people escape.
Huh?
No, it was breaking in. It wasn't going out. They was going in.
Oh. Wow. When I saw you laughing, I said, oh, something in this comment. Let me go look. I saw that. I was like,
don't know. See, that's a hard one with the understanding and trust with that one.
We still don't understand. We still trying to understand.
But the way she put it, I understood. See, that's another topic in itself as far as
it is. That's a whole. We're gonna have to have a men's lounge special edition Vaughn the Invisible Man Eric segment. So he can do the story of the window. What? I can only think of a few things that would ever possess me, and it would have to be possession to ever. Okay, so I gotta Jesus. Oh my goodness, Dr. E, I love you though,
be
for
equally
real.
yoked. Yeah.
And
let me say something about that equally yoked.
Be equally yoked is important.
Equally yoked is more than just she's saved and I'm saved. The Holy Spirit showed me something some years ago. You can be unequally yoked educationally, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually, and definitely financially. Unequally yoked and just, well, she's saved, I'm saved, we can go. Because that's what they taught, well, at least when I was coming up. In my exposure to hearing about unequally yoked was talking about salvation. But the Lord showed me something about 6-7 years ago saying it's more than that. It's more than that. Because you could be mentally unequally yoked mentally.
You can be mentally unequally yoked with yourself.
Yes. Because if I'm married, if I get married and emotionally I'm a 15-year-old and she's 40, that's unequally yoked.
Well, by age, but you could be equally yoked by something else, though. You could be unequally yoked by age, but equally yoked, like you said, financially. But you said unequally yoked. We could be equally yoked financially, but are we letting our equally yoked finance guide our relationship? So we could be unequally yoked, like you said, when it comes to being saved and being unsaved. But where are we equally yoked at? Could that be strong enough for the partner to become saved or the partner to become unsaved? It depends on
where it says be not.
Where's the strongest at?
Well, it says be not unequally yoked, so I don't understand your question.
When you're saying unequally yoked, we could be unequally yoked in one place, but equally yoked when it comes to something else. Because the reason why we together for a reason, and that why we together we are equally yoked. It is
why we are together.
Okay, so let me.
We're not together. As listen.
So wait, let me add this. Maybe to clarity.
It had. What'd you say, baby sis?
I was gonna say let me. I'll say let me add this in because maybe it'll help bring some clarity to the question because this is good and it's important. When we talk about being equally yoked and unequally yoked, really the bottom line of it is about balance. This is being balanced. And the truth is balance is not always equal. 60 and 40 equals 100. It is not equal in that sense, but it creates that balance. So we're not going to always be on the same levels and in the same or at the same points. But we're gonna. Hey Theo, how you doing? Coach Theo's in the house on tonight.
Hey girl.
We are here relaunching the men's lounge. We are having taking a slow walk through a deep conversation because something happens when men speak, and we want our men to talk and talk well so that we can get better understanding. Dr. Elaine says carrying each other's weight when needed. Right. So again, it's about balance. We have to be balanced. Sometimes there's contrast in balancing. It doesn't mean that we're going to look exactly the same all the time. It doesn't mean that we're always going to show up with the same amount, but we're at least heading in the same direction. Do we balance each other out? Are we the iron that's sharpening iron? And again, guys, whatever your moral compass is, take the principle and apply it to that. We are biblical based. We're believers. So that's our point of reference, which is why we are pulling it in that vein. But you use whatever your moral compass is. But when we're talking about being equally yoked and unequally yoked, how do you work with something that's unbalanced? It doesn't mean that we're going to in every single area, but it means that we balance each other out in these areas and that we have not the potential, but we have the tools to balance each other out in the areas where we need to grow so that we can be balanced together. Where you're weak, I'm strong. Where you're strong, I'm weak. And we end up balancing each other out. So it's not going to be always, so perfectly 50-50 or 49-51. I hope that makes sense. Mama says, but you do not become equally yoked. You must already, hold on 1 second, I can't even see. You must already be that right piece to fit in the puzzle space. We cannot make someone fit because we want them to. Who they are must be the right fit. Exactly.
That's right, Mama.
And that right fit again. Okay, that right fit can't just be for right now.
Right. See, that's
it can't be for right now.
Right. And I think that's what
because then it means that you
yoked in one thing and unequally yoked in another thing. That's the point that I was trying to. Because like he said, you are unequally yoked in this and this and this, but you are equally yoked in one thing. One thing brought y'all together. It could be the intimate conversation. It could be y'all get along when it comes to, some people think since y'all financial equally yoked, they think, well, shoot, we make a good couple. Nah.
But hold on. Because y'all exegeted what she said.
In the same
y'all
thing,
didn't exegete, y'all exegeted. She said be the right fit. She didn't say right fit right now. Y'all added words into what Mama was saying. Mama was saying the right fit.
No, we're not adding words, so we're giving different perspectives.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
That's that. Right.
Okay. Right. No, I'm saying, and that's correct. I'm like, but it was just another thought that while you have to be the right.
Right.
You can, because we can be the right fit for right now, but what happens when that need is met and then our need change? So then what happens? So I no longer need you. So you no longer fit.
Right. And things, and then people, as you get older, you're not where you're the same when you first became fit for one another. People change over time, but some people are able to stay equally yoked, even though they have changed. There are changes coming, and they have changed. They have got older. People stay equally yoked, or a lot of people become unequally yoked. It all depends on your foundation and who you are as a person and where you at in your life.
So I think that to me, it kind of makes me think of capacity and the ability to pivot. Mm-hmm. Do we have that when you're talking about being in that equally yoked, that balanced space? Do I have the ability, the capacity to move along with you and adjust and pivot as life goes on? Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I think you were saying when you explained as far as the 60-40 and things like that I think that's a good analogy, because sometimes you may be the 60, sometimes you may be the 40. So it depends on who you are, where you at, but you also got to remember the consequences too in that also.
but we still fit.
Right.
Overall,
Yeah, fit.
we still fit. Because we have the capacity to,
Yeah.
again, I think to pivot and to
Right.
expand with one another. I can mesh more with you. I can move with your
Right.
frequency. Some people I can't get with it. Like I'm like I can't get with that.
Right.
I think you have to know.
Right. Even
What
though you may get along with them in one way or two ways, but that 3, 4th, and 5th and 6th, nah, it's not enough.
if they're not the core way, if they're not the core things that I need, then forget it, because it ain't gonna work out. All the other stuff is fluff and it's
Right.
cute, but if it's not that won't work for me.
Right.
What your wheels are spinning, big bro? What you got? Rock. I see you.
I was just listening. I hear what y'all saying. I just think people can fluff for a long time sometimes.
You
I just
right.
think people can fluff for a long time. I'm more into we miss stuff and we ignore stuff more so than sometimes people changing.
That's good.
And
True.
we don't address red flags in the beginning. We miss stuff. Oh, he got big shoulders, broad chest. Oh yeah, she walking around, she looking like this and so
Listen,
forth.
don't hate for the broad shoulders now. I'm just saying, don't.
Okay. So we kind of miss stuff. And
sorry, I have
and
to
I
defend
think
broad shoulder brothers. Yeah.
depending on how good a person is and how good of a wool they could pull over the person they with eyes, they could fluff for years. They could almost fluff the whole duration if the person that getting the wool pulled over don't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more on that level than people doing a lot of changing. And then even when people and even when the shift y'all talking about is in growth, at some point it took you 10 years to realize the person, or it take you 10 months or 6 months to realize the person you're with is not interested in growth or growing, or these are conversations you need to have. When me and my wife first met and we decided we just we was talking about dating, and she came over my house one day and she said, I think I just what I want to do. The very first thing I said to her after that, even though I really didn't see it myself because I wasn't really trying to do it, but I knew it was on my life, I said, are you ready to be a preacher's wife? Even though in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to be one, but I knew it was on my life, right? So what I'm saying is, are we asking the right questions, or are we doing the homework that we need to do in the beginning?
Well, I think one of the things that you said when you talked about us missing stuff and the red flags. One thing that I'm like, red flags makes me laugh now because
yeah, it does.
it really does. Because now red flags are no longer red flags. Red flags is like the 4th of July. The way that we see it, the red flag is not right. It's not the warning sign anymore. It's the woo.
The fire.
Yeah, it's like, no, fool. It's not a good, like, no. It's warning you of something, and you're thinking we pick it up as excitement for whatever reason, So that's why we miss stuff. And I think that speaks to our broken spaces or our lack, where now this, which is normally considered toxic, somehow we are perceiving it as excitement, and he's vibrant or she's alive, and it's like, no, because it's not going to be cute 3 months, 4 months from now. Like it's not. So we're not missing stuff. Like you said, I liked what you said. I think we intentionally ignore it because we see what we want to see. And that was really, really good. I love that. Theo says, do you have the capacity to extend grace to each other as you grow, evolve, pivot?
And pivot.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
That's, and that kind of leads to what, to what you're saying, big bro, about us. Like, are we asking these right questions up front? And some of us, I think, don't know to ask the questions. Others of us don't want to ask the questions. And some of us, still have no idea that there is a question, or it should be. We're just so happy somebody's talking to us and somebody wants us, and somebody's interested. That I don't have no questions for. It's just the fact, and you need to pause. That's good. Like, don't be so excited that somebody's here wanting to be in your life. Well, what you want to do? My two questions: what do you want, and who sent you? Because I don't have time for much else. We got to know, but
right.
Or if you ask the question, are you able to listen to the answer and able to accept the answer? And also, are you looking for also with the person's actions? Because it's like going for an interview. Person can say all the good things to your questions, but are there actions later on as you grow and as y'all be together? Does it matches the same answers or matches the answers that he or she answered at first? People can ask questions all day. And some people can ask the questions that, you know what, I don't like that answer. But why did they answer it that way? Where are they at in their life? Because some people may look at the answer and interpret it another way, or answer it in a way that you like, oh, I don't like that. But is that person really that way on the way they answered that question? That takes time to understand. And some people may not have that time. And some people do. And that goes along with what Ms. Carter said as far as grace. Are you going to extend grace if the question that you received didn't go right or feel right? So, I mean, yes, you should answer questions. And some people, the questions that you ask, and some people don't want to answer, like you said, Dawn, because they don't want to offend the person. But then some people look at that, hey, why would a person be offended? But some people will be offended. You got to remember, you can give, but does that person receive the way you're giving? And sometimes it doesn't work that way. And you may say a question and they answer, no, that's not why I asked you that question, though. That's not why I asked you.
Their mindset is that, and how they receive,
how they're hearing it. Yeah.
And that's a good point. That's a good point you're making, Vaughn. I think for me, I'm at the place, again, at this big old age where we can have all that conversation. We can ask all the questions. We can do all of that. But I am no longer in a place, like, I don't have time for untapped potential. Mm-hmm. It is, you can have the potential to do something, but are you producing along the way? Mm-hmm. Because I'm grinding. I'm doing what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got product to prove. I got myself to a place in life where I stopped telling people what I was going to do, because I would tell you what I'm gonna do, but it would never get done. So I started working in silence and letting my success speak. I stopped telling you what I have the potential to do, and I'm showing you the product of what I've done. For me, right. That's what I need to see, because that's how I'm coming to you. Like, I'm not going to tell you that, and when we talked about this, I think sometime earlier this year or last year, when we was talking about all the things that are on my plate, was me, you, and Risha, we were talking.
Right.
Yeah, hot topic. And right. How do you manage a relationship and all this? What do you have time for? And it's like, no, mm-hmm. I'm showing you that this, I have product to show what I do. Mm-hmm. But with that being said, I still have time. I make time. I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to tell you that I'm doing one thing and then have nothing to show for it, because you could be all, enamored by me today and like, oh, you're going to be, the next best-selling author and this and that. And so people link up with you because of your potential. But 6 years from now, when you haven't even written a sentence that's on a cue card, you know what I'm saying? Or even a fortune cookie, like, then they mad because now You linked up with someone who had potential to do something, but it remained untapped and it never produced. And we have to stop leading with the potential of things that we can do because we want what we want at that time. I want this person. I want to impress you. So I'm going to tell you everything that I'm doing. Nope. I keep my business to myself. If you don't ask, I'm not telling you. I tell you, yep, I have a very busy schedule. I honestly do. And depending on where we're at in relationship and conversation, I will share with you, yep. But if I don't tell you, you would never know, because when you call, I answer. When you text, I respond. And it's not until later on down the line, and this is real life, real talk. I'm like, and Vaughn and I have conversation. He didn't know all the things that I do until we had, till we have, right, Vaughn? We had a real conversation.
I used to text you. You text me a week later. You had a lot of things.
Oh, poor Von Eric.
That's a straight out lie.
Okay.
If my notifications on Instagram don't show up right away, so it might take me a minute. But if you text me though, I'll answer you. Stop playing.
A minute is a long time with you. A minute is 3 days, 4 days, a week later.
Jesus, it's 8 to 10 business days. Like I said on Monday, is that? I'm sick of you in this men's lounge tonight. I'm gonna read the next comment. The point is, I have grace. We have it, because I'm not that's you know what? That's gonna be on the checkmate next Thursday. We're gonna have that conversation.
Grace is a critical characteristic to have in a relationship.
We all need it. We all and don't just want it for you, like extend it. Don't let it be one-sided. Theo says some people interview well and end up being bad hot.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why some people, the questions can be good. They can answer that question good, and all of a sudden you be like, "Wait a minute, hold on." Later on,
I actually have a daughter now, and I told her husband, I said, before y'all get married, didn't I tell you she talks a good game? But you went on and did it anyway. So hey,
but you got what you got.
She interviewed well. But hey, I told you, don't listen to her words. Watch her actions.
Yeah,
and you can't bring her back.
Yeah. Because wisdom come in many ways. Many people.
Come on. Theo says, "Do you have potential or just potential and a dream?" Listen, you can have potential in a plan, potential in a dream, but potential with no product, you won't have me. That's just not. It's just not gonna happen. I need to see some stuff, because if we're talking about again that balance, what you want. Listen, a sister's out here doing what she got to do. You can do whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not saying we have to do the same thing. I'm saying whatever that is that you want to do, make sure that you're working towards it.
Be productive.
Yeah, and it's important, because if I'm out grinding and you just sitting back parlaying, you're not going to be happy. You're going to feel left out.
So, for instance, what you're saying is, I'm out here doing this. If you like working on cars, what are you doing to maybe get your own shop or do something like, what are you working towards? Something like that, right?
Yeah, if that's what you want.
As grown and what they love to do. If that's what you love to do, why are you still doing it on the side? Why? What are you going to do to do something more? I got you.
Yeah, so it's like
just talking. Some people just talking. No product, just talking. Talk about I want to do this. I wish I could do this. I'm about to do this, but don't bring in no type of product at all. And then it goes into, what do you accept as a good product or enough for you to accept it as a good product or a bad product?
Right. If you don't put it out, because you will become frustrated, because you're going to feel like I'm out here now. All of a sudden, the schedule that I've had since we met, since we started dating, since we became friends or whatever, it's all the same. It hasn't changed. It's just that you have not been putting in the work to grow your life. And so you start feeling like I'm going forward and I'm leaving you behind, or vice versa. However it is, the one who is progressing is, the person who's not progressing is going to feel like that person progressing is leaving them behind. You start feeling disconnected. You start feeling like, oh, well, we don't operate in the same worlds anymore. Oh, when I want to come home my day, you're not really interested, because you
And it
don't,
doesn't matter what
you don't.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
And it doesn't matter what you say either, because it's how they are feeling.
Exactly.
It's how they are feeling. And no matter what you do, no matter what you're saying, no matter how much you encourage, no matter how much you inspire, no matter how much you invest, if they feel that way, they have to come up out of that to even see what you and others are doing, invested in them to do, so it
So
doesn't
people
matter
have
what
a
you're doing.
closed
They have to
mind.
change they have to change how they see, how they hear, and they have to change how they see things.
Oh, so okay, yeah. Basically, so what you said, the person had to have
Yeah.
a more open mind and not a closed mind or closed hearing. Is that what
Well,
you're saying?
take this for an example. Ever since I've been on this forum, and it's been maybe 3, maybe going on 4 months now, right? Mr.
4 months.
Grateful, Baby Sis, and it's someone else. I mean, I wasn't even on this platform a week, and people are like, "Oh no, you need to have your own." I'm like, I'm not doing it. No. As long as I was closed minded, I even stopped going on some people's live because I got tired of them saying you need to do it. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not even going. I'm not. Blip. Because until I start understanding, until I start singing that you do have something to say that people need to hear. Right. And this has nothing to do with nothing. I've been preaching since 04. I've been teaching Sunday school since I was a teenager. So it's not nothing that I didn't think I didn't have nothing to say. I just didn't see myself on the platform like this. Because you're open up to the world now. Almost anybody can chime in probably now. It's more than just the 50, 125 members at church, or it's more than just your family. Now this is the world. So until I saw it, until I started changing, and trust me, when I say Baby Sis was in my case every day, all day,
Sure was.
she better be glad I loved her, because I ain't never had nobody.
And we ain't finished yet.
But so you have to change how your perspective. Once you change your perspective, so you change your perspective, you say, you know what? She's doing this and she's okay. She's on 72 lives. So she knows what she's talking about. So maybe I could trust her with one, because she's
Really?
on 72 of them.
72?
Right?
Really?
So
That's what we doing? It was just 62 this morning. How do we...
So the mindset, how we see things and how we hear things is good. And then when people are rooting for you and cheering for you from a place of love and concern, and you can do this, and they're just not trying to push you to for a profit or to make them look good. When they push it because they want you to do something, that makes a difference as well.
That's true. And ladies, we have to make sure that we are cheering for our men to win, because we want them to win. We want them to win. We definitely have to. Now, again, I can't give me something to cheer for. Give me a reason to tell you, baby, you got this. Let me see you working towards something. Be like, babe, you know what? Take a breath. Maybe you just regroup. Let me go get you a snack. Give me something to pat you on the back for and tell you got this. Go be great. I see you working hard. You can do this. Definitely. That's what we want to do. That's how we help. That's how we push. But yeah, men, if your mindset, and women too, mindset matters. And when you see someone going for the chance to turn their potential into product, please do not let the enemy of jealousy pop up and insert itself. Because that's what happens. Because you will unalive a person's whole dream, vision, and purpose. You will unalive it by allowing jealousy. And that jealousy usually strikes up because we are not applying ourselves
Right.
to what our purpose is.
Right.
Misery loves company, and we don't want to do that. We want to be a great support to our men. We want to change the narratives. We want to normalize support, and we definitely want our men to win, because men, you are the head, you are the leads, you are the backbone. Listen, I ain't mad at no man with broad shoulders, okay? As a woman, my job is to help those broad shoulders stay strong. Flex, brother. Flex.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Theo, that's right. She said it: potential plus plan plus intention equals product. That's it. There's a flow. There's a formula, because that's what we want to get to. We want to get to the product. Listen, y'all, I am so happy that we have relaunched. Kudos to the Men's Lounge. All right, I promise you, this year we are digging deep. We don't want to stay on the surface, but we're digging deep because we want our men to
except for Von Erich.
Yeah. He's still trying to open windows.
Yeah.
Okay, oh my God.
We got you though. We got
man.
Got you going.
You know what? I'm gonna stop messing with y'all. That's it. I've stopped messing with y'all.
No, you're not.
You love us.
There's one way in this family and no way out. And I don't know why you thinking that you're going nowhere. You're going nowhere. We stuck together for life. That's it. Period, sir.
Because she said,
act like you don't know. You better act like
I'm gonna relaunch the Men's Lounge. She said, I'm gonna have you, Mr. Grateful. You bringing Von Erich on? She's like, yeah, Von Erich coming. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
There's a vision. There's a vision.
And Von Erich, and check this out. Check this out, Von. And I know you ain't even been in your bag yet. I haven't even seen you go in your bag yet. And I was like, okay.
Buckle up, Buttercup, because this one here is a whole bag of the whole bag. Okay. But I'm so glad we relaunched the Men's Lounge tonight. I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you have enjoyed, gleaned from, gotten something out of this conversation. We are not rushing through anything. We are here to have real talk and dig and dive deep, and we are taking our time so that because we got to realize that our men have been through much, and it's been over years of buildup. So as Pastor Sheila says, when nothing changes, nothing changes. Well, we are here to create the change that's going to bring a lot of change, and not just a lot of change, but a lot of change with impact. So we have our men who are going to be speaking up. Why? Because the hashtag for the Men's Lounge is something happens when men speak. And we are looking forward. If you thought tonight was a good conversation and we hit some good nuggets, I promise you the topics that are going to be coming from our men, not coming from me, they're going to be coming from our men, is going to be amazing. Ladies, get your notebook, get your Men's Lounge notebook and lean in so that we can listen, so that we can start showing up better and being a better support to our men. All right, men, listen. I want you to know that when you find no one giving you your space, stand and take your rightful place. So before we close on tonight, let me say it again. I'm going to say it again. When you find that no one is giving you your space, take your authority. Stand in your authority and take your place, because that's what you're supposed to do. All right, that's right. Women, listen. We want to lean in and listen. We want to show up. We are about to change the narrative and normalize partnership and make sure that our men are winning and succeeding because they have a right to do so. And we want to make sure that they do that. So look forward to the Men's Lounge is now relaunched. It will be every third Thursday of the month. You're going to hear co-host Mr. Rockology. You're going to hear squad member Mr. Vaughn, the Invisible Man, Eric. My goodness, I tell you, once Kingdom Builder, Mr. Grateful gets on here, along with my Master D Swag. Listen, I am looking forward to where this thing is about to go. Buckle up, buttercups, okay? Because we are about to take off. So I want to leave the men. I'm going to just make this little announcement. I'm going to leave the men the last word. Please tune in with us next Thursday night. I'm excited to say, if you enjoyed Checkmate last month, we are coming back. And a matter of fact, it might just be Checkmate After Dark. That's what we might have to do, because After Dark was something. Okay, we're gonna talk about those things, in the game of chess. And when it comes to Checkmate, what things are we doing in relationships that are blocking us from moving forward? It's the Men's Lounge, the ladies' room.
I like that.
We coming back. So just stay alert. We might have to do Checkmate After Dark and make it do what it do. And this month of April has been amazing. May is going to be for the best, right? Theo's eyes is poking out. That's right. You never know how it goes down on Thursday nights. Please make sure that you go across the street tomorrow at 11 a.m. to the Sheila Ingram Ministries Network. Tune in at 11 a.m. for the Women of Grace. They will be there expounding and sharing great word. And also make sure you show up at 7 p.m. on Monday nights with Dr. E Beyond the Mic and me, your girl, Lady Dawn B, co-hosting. I'm just on there supporting, chin checking, doing security. And y'all pray for me and my reformation, okay? I'm still a work in progress. But I'm thankful for 2025. We're digging deep. We're going off the surface so that we can dig deep, so that we can show up in all of the great spaces that we're assigned to as the great people that we are made to be. So come on, Vaughn, Eric, give your final thoughts and comments. And then Big Bro Rockology, co-host like none other, want you to give your final thoughts as we wrap up this show. Let you have the final thoughts and closing words. Come on, Vaughn.
As I'm ending climbing through the window. Been a good conversation. Really enjoyed myself. Wisdom was spoken a lot today. And I thank everyone in the chat and everyone on the panel for being amongst some glorious, uplifting, unity, wisdom, and knowledge, brothers and sisters. And much love and respect.
Come on, big bro. Thank you, Vaughn, Eric.
I just want to thank the women for listening. I want to thank y'all for listening. I want to thank you for your engaging. Trust me, if no one's listening or reading, I am. And I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all taking the time out to hear us. And I appreciate the time you taking the time out to it's like you want to hear us. And I thank you for that. Just thank you all for listening to us this evening. And it better is coming. Trust me, better is coming.
All right. And with that being said, guys, again, make sure you tune in with us next week. You do not want to miss it. Make sure that you set your alarm for the Men's Lounge every third Thursday of the month, for this is the place where men are heard and women can learn. So with that being said, I want to wish you all a great, great night. Thank you for tuning in. And we're going to go out on this song because the Men's Lounge is full of individuals who are the greatest of all time. Have a great evening, everybody. See you soon. Hang out with you once. On the court and the one that's in the stands, the one playing the sport and the one that's just a fan, but don't understand but swear they could do better than you on this last dance. But you Jerry Pussy, look in the
the Jordan. More too important. It's still ain't wanna port it. Well, I'm hated or supported. Y'all getting extorted. Leave your team assorted. You traded while I'm awarded. Hey, let me see those hands now. Let me see you dance now. Let me see those hands now. Let me see you dance now.
Stand back and watch it go mode. Half man, half ram, call it go mode. On the prowl with my ground, call it go mode. GOAT, you know we
Now they
go
call me
mode.
PW Kirk, a legend in 2 games. I went